Last week, a cell phone video leaked out of Somalia showing men in military uniforms aggressively stomping on the American flag. The response from Mogadishu was immediate. The Somali Defense Ministry detained the soldiers and officially reaffirmed their deep strategic partnership with Washington. But that brief, chaotic video is a rare glimpse into the cracks of an alliance that has defined the longest war on the African continent. It points directly to why an effort lasting over a decade has completely stalled. Since 2006, the U.S. has poured nearly $2 billion into Somalia, heavily escalating an aerial campaign of drone strikes in recent years. Those strikes from above are designed to clear a path for tens of thousands of African Union ground troops deployed to stabilize the country below. Yet look at the map of territorial control between the government and al-Shabaab. Those boundary lines have barely moved since 2016. Despite pounding the terrain with munitions, eliminating leaders, and deploying massive battalions, the front lines remain frozen. The United States treats the situation in Somalia as a strict counterterrorism mission. Somali politicians, however, treat it as a domestic power struggle. The country's political structure is split between the central federal government of Somalia in Mogadishu and regional administrations known as the federal member states. The two tiers are constantly fighting over authority and competing for resources. This constant infighting over elections and regional control consumes nearly all of the state's energy. It leaves almost no political will to actually coordinate a unified fight against the insurgency. The consequences are severe on the ground. Elite U.S.-trained units, like the Danab Advanced Infantry, are frequently sidelined. Instead of clearing insurgent strongholds, they are sometimes ordered by the government to forcibly arrest domestic political opponents. International military training loses all its value if the host government uses those weapons against its own political rivals rather than the actual enemy. While the federal and regional authorities are busy fracturing, al-Shabaab fills the vacuum. They operate freely across massive stretches of the countryside. This chart shows estimated tax collections in the region. Al-Shabaab runs a highly efficient, illicit tax empire that consistently extracts money from businesses right inside the capital, often outpacing the official state revenue collection. That massive revenue stream funds a network of informal shadow courts. Because these courts are often seen as more reliable than corrupt state institutions, many locals actively choose to bring their disputes to the insurgents. At the same time, when U.S. airstrikes inevitably result in civilian casualties, al-Shabaab uses the wreckage to recruit locals who already feel abandoned by Mogadishu. Surviving drone strikes is only half the equation. Al-Shabaab maintains its grip because it systematically outgoverns a distracted and divided state. Washington does have leverage, though. The U.S. remains Somalia's largest external creditor and its primary security backer. By threatening to withhold financial aid, debt relief, and air support, the U.S. can force both the central and regional governments to finally agree on a constitution and actually unify their security forces. Even if the Somali government fully unifies tomorrow, achieving a total military victory over al-Shabaab is highly unlikely. The group is too deeply integrated into the local economy and clan structures to be completely erased by force. This points to an uncomfortable policy shift for international backers. The ultimate purpose of U.S. military force shouldn't be the total eradication of the insurgency. Instead, the true function of American airstrikes must be to hurt insurgent leadership just enough to coerce them to the negotiating table. Until all parties accept that reality, the lines on the map will remain frozen. This war will eventually be settled with a pen, not a drone.